Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I am Raj. In part 1 we learned the names for all the keys in the keyboard, and today in this video we are going to learn the scales. So there are so many scales, but most commonly used scales are the major and minor. So in this lesson I'm going to be focusing on major and minor, and later on after you master these two scales, then I will show you the other scales. But if you learn major and minor, that means almost 90% of the topic you covered on the keyboard about scales. If you are not a singer but you like to learn how to sing, but this is a good opportunity, because when you practice the scales, if you sing along with the scales, your voice will get trained automatically. For example, somebody go for a vocal training, the teachers uses an instrument like piano or any other instrument to train them. So basically they are making them to sing the scales on their vocal. If you're learning a keyboard, you're getting an extra skills. It is like buy one get one free, which is a good news. So without further ado, let's jump into the lesson. First we will start with C major scale. Try to listen and get familiar with the scale tune. To play the C major scale, I'm going to start with the middle C here, and to the high C I'm going to play all the white keys right here. So you can call it C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. But it's not that easy to sing, especially when you go on the black keys. In all the languages, they call these C, D, E, F, G in their own language. So I'm going to sing it in Tamil. But if you're not Tamil, you can find out the names in your language and then sing it. It's much easier. In Tamil, we sing it like that. Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa, sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. It's up to you. If you want to train your vocal, you can do that, or you don't have to. So that is the C major scale. Right now, don't worry about the fingering. I will tell you later. So just learn the pattern. After you can play with the correct fingers. If you really didn't learn from a good master, you will learn these scales, but you will have no idea how these scales are created. They will simply write the notes for each scale, and I will ask you to memorize it, and you will memorize it and you will get it, but it will take longer time. Plus you have no idea how these are created. So in this lesson, most importantly, I'm going to show you how the scales are created, so you can identify the scales by yourself without anybody's help. So let's take the C major scale. There's a pattern created for a scale. From C to D, we call it a whole note. But if you go from C to C sharp, it is a half step. So half step and full step. So the full step, we call it whole step. So I'm going to write W for that. So from C to D is W. Now from D to E is another whole step, because you go the half step and then the full step. So from C to D is a whole step, W, whole step, and then to F there is no sharp, so it is a half step, and then whole step, whole step, whole step, and here there is no black key, so half step. So it is going like whole, half, whole, half. So W, W, H, W, 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 H. So that's the pattern. So you can think like the black key pattern. It has a 2 and 3. So 2 whole note, whole, and then half. 3 whole note, whole, and then half. So that's the pattern is created. So sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. So that is C major scale. Now we're gonna go to the D major scale. So I'm going to write all the note from D to D, all the white note, but the tune is not same as C major scale. It's different. So there are a few black keys goes with the D major scale, but we are going to find it with that formula. So from C, we're gonna go whole note, which is E. So the second note is E, and then another whole note. So this is half, this is whole. So F sharp, then half step is G, and whole note, whole note. So this is half and whole, and then half. So we discovered two black keys in here, F sharp and C sharp. So D major scales goes like D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa, sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. So that's the D major scale. I'm going to show you one more scale and then I will let you find out the rest. But at the end, I will list all the scales with the fingering numbers. But you try your best to identify them, then compare with my chart. Third one that I'm going to show is the E major scale. E to E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. So here we can apply the formula. So whole step from E is half whole. So this is the second note. And then the whole note, half whole here. So we have whole and half, then whole, half. So we have E, whole, half, whole, half. We have 4 black keys in here. So the E major scale goes like this. That's how we find the scales. There's a pattern. If you know that pattern, you can find all the scales. You have 7 scales that is on the white keys and 5 scales on the black keys. So total you have 12 major scales. So if you want to call yourself a keyboardist or pianist, you must master these 12 scales, no excuse. You can't say I don't know this, I don't know that. You must know all the 12 scales. So the more you practice, is naturally you will get it. So you don't need to worry about it. The more practice you do, you will get it. We learned the major scales. Now I'm going to show you the minor scale. Again, I'm going to show you a formula to convert a major scale into minor. First, write the major scale. So C major scale, write from C to C, all the white keys. Circle the third note, 1, 2, 3, which is E, the 6, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So circle 3, 6, 7, and then we're gonna reduce half step for all 3 notes. For the third, 6, and 7, we're gonna reduce half step. So in the previous lesson, we learned about sharp and flat. So here is the flat. So the third note, we're gonna reduce by half step. It's going to become E flat. So you have C, D, E flat. You don't play the E for minor. And for the 6, if you reduce half step, it's going to be A flat, it's going to be B flat. So you have these 3 flats, 3 black keys in here. So I'm going to play C minor scale. Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa, sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. So the major scale sounds like this. Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa, sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. Minor. Sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa, sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa. I'm going to show you one more scale and then same thing I will let you find out. That's your homework. First I'm going to write D major scale. And circle the third, 6 and 7. So third is going to be 1, 2, 3. So the F sharp, reduce half step. The F sharp is going to turn into F note. 4, 5, 6. So reduce half step. So B become B flat. So we have 1 black note. And the 7 note is C sharp. Reduce half note and it's going to be C. So in the D major, the D minor scale, we have 1 black key which is B flat. So it's going to go like this. I will list all the scales, major and minor, at the end of the video. After you're done, compare with mine to make sure we both have the same notes. Okay, now I'm going to show you the fingering. So first for the major, we have 8 notes in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Play the first 3 notes with the first 3 fingers. 1, 2, 3. Now we have 5 notes left and use those 5 fingers in the order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you play 1, 2, 3 and then lift your hand and do it again, there's the break. You don't want to hear that break in between. So to play without breaking the notes, the technique is 1, 2, 3, then bring your thumb under to the next note and then play the rest. So hear it. You don't hear the break. If you play without that, I don't know if you heard it, but I heard the break, so play it like that. When you come down, play all the 5 fingers backward and then bring the middle finger back over to E. So I'm going to go up and down. Okay, that's for the right hand. Now I'm going to show you for the left hand. So for the left hand, it's like a mirror image, completely opposite to right hand. Here we played 3 and then 5, but on the left hand we're going to play 5 and 3. So play all the 5 fingers. Now bring the middle finger over to the next note and then play the rest. To go back, bring the thumb under and then go to the next note. For all the scales are same finger numbers, but except 2 scales, one on the right hand, one on the left hand. So even if you play the D major scale, you're going to use the same fingers, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only for F, remember, for F it's a different fingering, because if you do 1, 2, 3 and it's impossible to put your thumb over to this black note, that's why we're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 1, 2, 3, 4. When you come back, 4, 3, 2, 1 and then bring the 4th finger back, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's only for the right hand. For the left hand, you have no problem to play these 5 notes, so you can, so that's the regular fingering. And on the left hand, again, B major or minor, both are same. You are going to start with 4th finger, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you go back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you are not using your pinky on the B major scale, and on the right hand you are not using the pinky on the F major scale. So that's the complete package about the major and minor. So your homework, write the pattern and create the scales for all 12 major and minor and start to practice. But when you start to practice, don't practice all 12 scales at the same time, because you will get bored. It will take longer time. So the practice technique, always take one scale. For example, okay, today I'm going to be practicing only C major scale. So learn everything about C major scale, all the notes, fingering, and try your right hand first and then try your left hand and try both hands. And you can also try to go like 2 octaves. You can practice both hands 2 octaves. You can practice the scales with 2 fingers like this. So you can do so much things. Just pick a scale and master the scales, and once you are happy with that, then pick another scale like D major scale or E major scale, then start to work on it. So don't try to practice all the scales at once, because that's going to be too much and too boring. Okay guys, I think I've covered everything about the scale. There are so many things about scale, so this is very basic, but without knowing the basic, you can go to the advanced stuff. On the future lessons in the advanced stuff, I will teach you so much techniques about the scales, like how you can practice the scales, how you can apply the scales on the songs. In Western, we mostly use major, minor and few other scales, but in Indian music, there is so many scales. For example, the C major scale, we can play like that. This is called, it's a difficult name, Maya Maulava Gaula. So it's called Sari Gama Pada Nisa Sani Da Pa Magarisa. Sari Gama Pada Nisa Sani Da Pa Magarisa. Or you have another scale. Sari ga ma pa da ni sa, sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Even they have scale called pentatonic scales, 5-note scales. Sa re ga pa da sa da pa ga re sa. Okay guys, so I covered everything about the major and minor. So practice well. On the next lesson, we're going to cover the chords. And after that, we will go more in details about the advanced stuff. But before we move on, we have to make sure that you learn step by step and learn everything the proper way. Don't skip anything, because if you skip anything, you cannot go into the next level. So make sure you take your time and practice everything and understand everything what you learn. That's the important thing. Okay guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, click the like button, and also if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. Thank you, and see you in the next video.